everyone, it's Vicky from Minerva. I've got some absolutely beautiful new fabrics to share with you in today's video. So we have launched a brand new base cloth in the Minerva Exclusive fabric collection, and this one is a really special sparkly Lurex fabric which is just perfect for this time of year as we're heading into festive and party season. So the fabric we have launched is a Lurex Chiffon fabric. So I'll just hold it out for you here. You can see it's a sheer, so that means see-through fabric, and it has it's very lightweight, and it has very sheer, lightweight, almost like a weightless kind of quality to it. But what's really special about this chiffon fabric is that actually woven into the fabric itself, down the length of the fabric, it has lines of like a Lurex sparkly thread that's actually woven into the fabric. So when you move the fabric, it just catches the light in a really subtle, sparkly kind of way. It's so pretty, so beautiful, and yeah, with that hint of sparkle, it's just perfect for party season. So just to tell you a little bit more about the base cloth itself first, and I've got we've 20 prints in this collection, so I've got them all here to share with you today, and I've got some pattern suggestions to give you lots of ideas what you can make at the end of the video. But yeah, just to talk about the actual base cloth itself first. So this, like I say, is a Lurex chiffon, which means it has this stunning metallic thread woven throughout, that really catches the light and shimmers really magically, I think. And it's very soft and light and airy, and as you can see as I'm holding it, it has a beautiful fluid drape, and yeah, a very kind of almost like a silky finish really. So what you can make with this sort of fabric, so it's ideal for sewing things like cover-ups, scarves, wraps, robes, even things like tops and blouses. But then if you do decide to either line it or wear a slip underneath, then you can make beautiful skirts and dresses, jumpsuits even. So it is versatile, but obviously because of the sheerness, you just need to, you know, think sort of how you're going to use it and whether you would want to line it or not. So this fabric is 68 GSM, that's grams per square metre, so that obviously puts it into our lightweight category here at Minerva. And then in terms of sewing this fabric, I mean, chiffon is a, you know, it's a more tricky fabric to sew, certainly compared to like a cotton fabric or something like that. But it's not too slippery of a chiffon, this one. So as far as chiffons go, it's actually not too bad to, you know, it's quite easy to sew with this one as far as chiffons go. And we would recommend a very fine, you know, like a size 60 ideally, a 60 or 70 needle to sew this with. Ideally a brand new one, you know, so it's nice and sharp. And if you are struggling, you could always try a Sharps needle or a Microtex needle as well. So that's the details about the fabric. Now let's get to the prints themselves. So obviously as I hold them up to camera here, obviously you can see me through, and it doesn't show the print perhaps as best as it could be. So what I've got here is some of our, this is our Royal Micro Satin fabric, and I've got a plain black and an ivory colour. And what I thought I would do in this video is hold this fabric behind the Lurex chiffon like this, and then hopefully you'll be able to see the print a little bit better, because, you know, I appreciate on sheer fabrics it's hard to get that across on camera. So this is our Celestial Cats design, and isn't that absolutely stunning? Such a gorgeous print. So we've got these mystical kind of cats with all the celestial little motifs, you know, the suns and moons and stars. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So we have done this print on other base cloths, but for the Lurex chiffon, you know, we kind of wanted a few mystical, magical kind of prints in there, and we really thought this one fit the bill perfectly. So that's the first print. Now that same design does actually come in a lighter colourway, so I'll hold it up just on its own to start with. So it has a very different feel, doesn't it, on the lighter colour backdrop, and it still has the gold print with the Celestial Cats. So if I just take out our ivory Royal Micro Satin and then hold this up just behind the chiffon, you'll hopefully be able to see the print again in a little bit more detail, and hopefully that's helpful for you as well, just to be able to see, you know, what it would look like with a lining. And absolutely you could use this royal micro satin as like the base lining, if you will, but the base of your garment. But also, you know, it would be really nice to have, you know, perhaps maybe a dress made with a lining, and then perhaps the sleeves could be left sheer without the lining. So there's lots of things you can do like that with chiffon, and I've got some pattern suggestions to show you at the end that give you lots of ideas for that. So that's print number, well, second colourway of the first print. So next let's move on. Now this one is our tropical twilight print, and this is absolutely stunning. So actually I'll show it you without the lining to start with, and then let's have a look at it over the black satin. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a moody kind of print, this one. So it's black in the background with these really vibrant, rich, deep sort of blues, pinks, turquoises, yellows, oranges. There's lots of little specks of colour in this, but you can see it's still overall quite a dark, moody print. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous, that one. Next up, so I've got another one that's full of colour here. So this one is a new design. This is called Fluorescent Fizz, and it's a really fun, funky kind of print, this one, I think. So again, that's it just on its own, and then we put the lining behind. You can see that glorious print. Isn't that gorgeous? So it's a very abstract, to me that almost looks, you know, like the shapes that are left behind from fireworks in the sky. Or from a sparkler, you know, things like that. That's what it reminds me of. But it really kind of feels very festive and perfect for party wear, that one. Next up we've got, now this is one of our classic designs here at Minerva. Absolutely one of our best-selling designs. You guys love it. I've made a dress in our velvet in this one before, and it's gorgeous. So this is Celestial Motion, our celestial design full of moons and yeah, in gorgeous colours. There's greens and purples predominantly in this, all different shades. And then again, if I hold it up with the black satin behind, and can you see that gorgeous subtle shimmer that comes through? It's so pretty. And yeah, I really love the kind of magical celestial prints. I think they really suit the little sparkle. So next up we've got, now this one is called Wildflower Nebula, and this is a brand new design, and it's like you've wandered into a secret garden or a magical kind of forest. It's absolutely stunning, and again we'll hold it up against the lining. The colours in this are just gorgeous. Lots of greens and blues, turquoises, hints of purple. And with that sparkle coming through, it's absolutely just magical, this print. It's gorgeous. So next up, so now I've got a couple of prints that are more monotone. So more sort of like black and cream sort of prints. Now this first one is called Peacock Plumes. And this is another brand new design as well. So can you see those gorgeous peacock feathers? So it's a larger scale, this one, but it's got a more toned down colour palette. So it's got a little bit of a different feel, this one. And then that's it with the lining behind. Isn't that gorgeous? I think that print is so classy, so sophisticated. I mean, to make a dress or a jumpsuit in that, or a little blouse, I mean, oh, it would just be absolutely beautiful. And then the next one in our more monochrome prints, this one is called Forest Flashback. Whoops, hold it the right way around. There we go. And this is a very abstract print with black and cream again, and that metallic coming through. There we go, I'll hold it against the lining now. But it does almost have that feel of, you know, like an abstract forest, something like that. It's a very fluid print, I think. Certainly wouldn't need to worry about pattern matching on this one. Yeah, it's a gorgeous design, that one. Something maybe a little bit more subtle and toned down, especially with that colour palette, I think. So next up we've got a couple of small scale prints. So this first one is called Candy Confetti. So this has a black background with lots of little like pebbles or splodges of colour. Really, really pretty. And I think in real life you can see the colour a little bit more than perhaps you can see it on screen there. And again, if we hold it up against the black background, yeah, that probably shows off that colour a little bit better there. So you can see it's a very, very tiny scale design, really sweet. Lots of gorgeous colours in there, but it's, you know, with having that black background, it definitely tones it down. And yeah, it's a very wearable print, that one. And then next up, this one is called Seedling Shimmer. And this one has a very dark navy background and little, almost what look like petals that have fallen on water scattered over the surface in this gorgeous colour palette of lilacs, blues, creams, yeah, all sorts of colours in there. It's just a really, really pretty design, this one. And again, held over the black satin. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a pretty print, this one. It really suits being on the Lurex chiffon, that one. Next up, so I've got a couple of more floral designs. So the first one is our Wildflower Whispers. Now this is a relatively new design in the collection. Oops, hold it up the right way. But it's already been really popular on another couple of basecloths we've launched this on earlier in the year. And yeah, we thought this would really, really suit the Lurex chiffon. Again, I think the print has that magical kind of, you know, secret garden kind of feel. Yeah, it's very abstract. You can see the paint and the brush strokes from the original artwork. So, so beautiful. And with the added little metallic Lurex, it's just, yeah, it's absolutely stunning. And there it is over the lining. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the next floral design I've got, this one is Boudoir Bouquet, which is one of our best-selling designs here at Minerva, and it just looks gorgeous on the Lurex chiffon. It has a little bit of a darker feel on this base cloth, which, you know, gives it maybe a little bit slightly more of a moody feel, but with that metallic thread coming through the print, it just gives it a very different feel. It's very, 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 very beautiful, perfect for party season. And again, let's hold that up against the black lining. There we go. Hopefully you can see that print well on camera. It's absolutely stunning, that one. A very sophisticated, quite grown-up print. It's really beautiful. So next up, let's have a look. Now this one is called Nebulous Night. This is absolutely stunning. So this, to me, almost looks like a galaxy or underwater. Really, again, another very magical kind of print. Lots of blues and turquoise and hints of other colour in this one. And then, if we hold it up against that lining, I think you'll really see the colours pop on this one. Isn't that absolutely glorious? Love that print with the metallic coming through. Then next up, so this is another brand new design. So this is Phosphorescent Light, and this is another very small scale, this one, kind of spotty sort of print. So it has a black background and then a very subtle spotty print, but it is spotty with a difference. So you've got all different, slightly sort of different shapes of spot, and they're in little clusters. So to me, again, it could look like a galaxy, or, you know, stars in the midnight sky. Let's hold it up against the lining, because I think with it being a smaller scale one, it's probably harder to see that on screen. But hopefully you can see that a little bit more there. Isn't that beautiful? A very subtle, very wearable print, this one. For anyone that does, you know, that's not into sort of more big, bold scale prints, this is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, it's, and with that metallic thread coming through, it's absolutely so pretty. Next up, we've got a very mystical, magical sort of print. So this one is called Mystic Montage. And this is a really fun, funky print, a little bit more colour in this one. So this one has suns and moons and planets, stars. It looks like almost, again, like a galaxy, I guess, with all these planets in there. Yeah, and those stars and the eyes. It's a really funky print. Let's hold that over the lining. Lots of pinks, pinks and purples in this one against a black background. Really, really fun print, that one, with, yeah, a little bit more colour. And next up, so we have 5 designs left now. So first of all, we've got Fairy Grove, and this is another brand new design. There's lots of new designs actually in this collection. And this is another, again, it's like you've almost kind of just stumbled into a beautiful forest at night with all these beautiful, gorgeous colours coming through in the night sky. Oh, it's just stunning, this one. So it's a very abstract kind of floral. Another one where you can really see the artist's kind of work coming through. You can see the brush strokes from the paint, from the original artwork. It's absolutely stunning. It really is like a work of art on fabric, this one. Yeah, that was amazing. Next up, so this is a design we've had running a little while, but it's a really popular design. This one is called Feathered Frost, and this one has peacock feathers, well, different types of feathers, mushrooms, snowflakes, so it has a very kind of wintry, magical feel to it. It's on a black background, and then the colours in this are predominantly greens and purples, with little hints of other colours in there. Isn't that gorgeous? Looks, again, this is another design. I think they all work so well on this Lurex chiffon. We obviously chose the designs very specifically for this base cloth because it is, you know, it's a more wintry party kind of feel. Yeah, so we chose the designs, you know, really carefully for this base cloth, but I think they all work so well on it. So the next 2 designs I've got are both actually snowflake prints. So obviously these are really Christmassy, absolutely gorgeous for this time of year. I've been so excited to launch these. Obviously the collections we work on take months and months to get into production before they actually go for sale, go on sale on our website. And yeah, I've been so excited about these 2. So this first one is called Snowflake Season, and this is a black cum grey and almost like pewter shades. All those gorgeous snowflakes, and again, let's hold that over the lining. Isn't that absolutely stunning? I think the colours in it, it's quite an unusual colour in a way, because yes, it's like blacks and greys to look at it, but it has this almost pewter, like ever so slight minty colour to it in the greys, and it just, yeah, it makes it feel really, really special, this print. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the second snowflake print we've got, so this one is called Winter Kisses, and this is a blue and navy colourway, so quite different to the last one. As you can see, it's very blue by comparison. So this one is another gorgeous snowflake design. It's a different colour palette, but it's actually a different design as well. Really, really pretty, and the snowflake ones just look so stunning with that Lurex thread coming through. So again, let's hold that up against the black lining. Isn't that just gorgeous? Hopefully you can see that subtle shimmer on the camera, but if not, believe me, it really does, you know, in a very subtle way, but it really does add something special to these fabrics. And then the last design I've got to share with you, so this is the one that's on the mannequin here, and this one is called Subverted Skyline, and this is a very abstract sort of print, but to me that looks like the blurry kind of lights you might see at lights, you know, in a city or something. Lots of gorgeous colours in there. And again, let's hold that up against the lining so you can see that print well. Isn't that stunning? This is again another one we've printed on other base cloth in the past, and it's been so popular. Such a gorgeous print. And again, another one with a bit more colour in there as well. So that's all the 20 designs we're launching in this collection. We really hope you love these, and you know, just in time for Christmas to make yourself something special. But I think, you know, certainly the non-Christmassy prints, you know, maybe not the snowflakes, but you could wear these any time of year for any kind of fancy, you know, special occasion. Just any time you want a really special fabric with, you know, a little bit of Lurex, a little bit of sparkle. So next, let's take a look at, I've got 10 patterns that I've picked out to give you some ideas on what to sew with chiffon. So obviously it's a see-through fabric, so you need to take that into account obviously when deciding what to make. So some of these patterns are patterns designed for chiffon, and other ones are just patterns designed for, you know, other types of fabrics, but I think you could absolutely make them in chiffon and they'd work really well. So first up, and we'll insert some images as we go, so the first pattern pick I've chose is the Victoria Blouse Minerva Exclusive patterns. So this was one of our very first patterns in the collection, and it's an oversized V-neck, beautiful, like loose fitting blouse, and I think the oversized nature in this and the soft kind of softness and oversized feel would look absolutely gorgeous in the chiffon. As you move and walk in this blouse, the fabric's going to move a little bit and it's going to show off that sparkle beautifully. So now this pattern isn't designed for chiffon, so you know, I think really all you need to take into account is that you'd probably just want to do French seams and maybe just you know, just consider the finishing on the edges inside, just to make sure it's nice and neat. And of course, you know, you could wear one of these, you know, as a blouse just as it is. You know, you're just going to see obviously your bra through it. But you know, if that's not for you, you could absolutely just wear it over a vest top underneath, and you know, that would just give you a bit more coverage, but that loose oversized nature would still, you know, look absolutely fabulous. So next up I've got another top. Well, it's a top and dress pattern that's not actually designed for chiffon. This is the Zalia top and dress from Style Art Patterns, but I thought with this one, for the top especially, again, you could wear it, you know, just over nice lingerie, or you could just wear it over a vest top or something. And what I thought would be really fabulous about this pattern for chiffon is those gorgeous sleeves. Can you see on the image there how they come in at a little bit of an angle, 3/4 length, and all that fabric is gathered up? Imagine how that would look in the chiffon and how it would catch the light and sparkle, how it would move as you walked. It would be absolutely gorgeous. Now the dress, again, I think you could absolutely use that for this fabric, but you would, you know, obviously have to wear like a slip underneath, or maybe just layer it over, you know, just a very simple dress underneath. You could look at lining it as well. You would just obviously have to adapt the pattern with that. But you could maybe even leave the sleeves sheer and just line the dress part. That could be really lovely. Next up, so I've got a very fancy dress next. So this is if you've got a really special occasion to go for, and I just love the idea. I really hope somebody makes this in one of these fabrics. So this is Simplicity 8289. It's designed by Leanne Marshall, and it's a fabulous, almost like a ball gown type dress. You've 3 different views on the pattern. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Now the chiffon part comes into, well, each of the 3 different versions as like a skirt overlay. So on view A, hopefully you can see, it has almost like shaped pieces that kind of hang to create a little bit of body and shape from the skirt. And then view C and B and C literally just act as an overlayer over the, you know, the fabric underneath. So I mean, any of those options would be beautiful. I kind of love the idea of A, because I think one of these, how they would hang like that over the skirt and really catch the light, would be gorgeous. But again, B and C, equally fabulous, maybe just a little bit not quite as fancy on those. They'd be absolutely stunning if you've got an occasion like that to dress up for. So next I've got another dress pattern. This is definitely more, you know, not quite as dressed up as the last one. So this is Berda 6583, and this one is actually designed, well, it's actually shown on the pattern envelope in a chiffon fabric. Excuse me, where they've used the sleeves in a sheer fabric. So yeah, I mean, it's not a lined pattern, so they must have obviously have put a layer of fabric underneath, you know, for the main part of the dress, but you could absolutely do that. Yeah, either of the options on this looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I think personally I love the sleeves on A. I love what they've done with that on the envelope, and you could absolutely do something similar with this. So next up, we've got another birder pattern. So this one is designed for chiffon. So this one is number 6589. So with this one, you have, it's like a dress and a top come cape almost in the pattern. So you've a dress or a top. Now that they've designed as a very kind of figure hugging, very simple dress or top that's designed to be made in a jersey fabric. So you could just choose one of our jerseys at Minerva and just make that in a plain colour, and that basically acts as your lining. And then the top come cape come robe over the top, that's what you'd make in chiffon, as like a layer to wear over the top. And hopefully you can be able to see on the pattern envelope images there just how fabulous that looks in a chiffon. You can see how that fabric moves, how it hangs, how you can really see those sheer qualities, and that's exactly what you'd get from the Lurex chiffon. It'd just be gorgeous. And I think with this even more so, the fact you've got that Lurex thread that'd catch the light, it'd be fabulous in that pattern, and that would be a nice quick easy make as well. So next up I've got, this is one of the Simplicity pattern hacking patterns, number 8657, and this can be made as like a dress, like a cover-up dress, or a cover-up tunic, or a little top. It can also be hacked into almost like a cardigan come robe come jacket as well. And this pattern doesn't actually suggest chiffon, but I think will be absolutely fabulous for it. Now I imagine view 1, which is like the long length dress almost like a caftan really, or option 2 which is the shorter version of the same thing. That will be fabulous to use as a cover up, around the beach, or just to wear over like a very simple slip dress as another, a layer over the top. Likewise, option 4, which is that robe come jacket, that will be fabulous to layer up over, a very simple outfit underneath. I think there's lots of mileage in that pattern to be very creative with it with chiffon. Next up I've got McCall's 8009. Now this is a romper and jumpsuit pattern, and all of the options with this are actually lined, so it is designed to be used with a sheer fabric like chiffon. And what I really love about this pattern is, well, I love all the different options you've got, different sleeve options, a sleeveless option, and different leg options as well. So you've got a full wide leg jumpsuit, you've got the shorter version for the romper, and then you've also got a version that like ties in at the ankles as well. Yeah, loads of different options. You can really sort of pick the elements you want to make your perfect jumpsuit with this. And I think what would be really lovely would be to line the jumpsuit itself, but then leave the sleeves, if you decide to add sleeves, leave those sheer without the lining underneath, and that would just create a fabulous effect. Next up I've got Simplicity 8545. Now this pattern, so you've got the base dress underneath, or the base top, and then you have 2 overlay dresses and an overlay top. And how they've shown it on the envelope here is using that overlay garment, that to be made in a sheer fabric, so obviously the chiffon in that, and then the actual dress or the top that's like almost like a shift dresser or just a little slip top underneath, that to be made perhaps in the satin that I showed earlier. Yeah, and it just gives a really stunning effect because the dress or the top underneath just has thin little straps and almost like a V neck, and then the layer that goes over top is a higher round neck with 3/4 length sleeves or short sleeves to here. So there's lots of areas where you would see the chiffon fabric without the lining underneath, and then areas where obviously the dress or the top itself where you would see it on top of the lining. So it would create a fabulous effect where you would really see the sheer qualities of the fabric displayed really nicely in that garment. The next pattern I've got, so this is another one designed for sheer fabrics. This is McCall's 8113, and it has 3 different views on the pattern. But what I really love how they've shown it here is if you look on the envelope on view C, the one where the model is wearing the garment, you can see how they've used a sheer fabric there and just worn it over the top of an outfit underneath. So you can really see how yeah, they've kind of, there's nothing to stop you making this in a fabric that isn't see-through, but how they've styled it to use it with a sheer fabric like a chiffon. Yeah, I think it looks fabulous, and I love all the little details in the frills and the sleeves. Really gorgeous pattern, that one. And then lastly, I've got another pattern, McCall's 8110, another one that shows it on the model made in a sheer fabric. So this is another gorgeous dress. And with this one, it is designed for a fabric that has some stretch. So obviously you would need to take that into account with the chiffon fabric. You would add to either have to make it slightly more oversized and wear like say a belt with it or something, or you would have to just add a fastener into it. But I just thought it would be a really good one to illustrate, if not even this exact pattern, just how you can style a dress like this. So you really choose any dress pattern and style it being worn over, like they've done here, just over a little crop top and some skinny jeans underneath, and it looks fabulous. It gives it a very kind of different feel. Yeah, and you could absolutely do that with any of the prints, and then really that gives you free reign to be able to choose any pattern, and then it's taking into account that sheer see-throughness is really just about the style in them. So that's all the pattern picks I had to share with you. I hope that was inspiring and it's give you, lots of specific ideas of what you can sew, but also just, an idea on the types of garments and what to look for in patterns for sewing with chiffon fabric. So yeah, I hope that was really inspiring and helpful for you. So that's everything I wanted to share with you in today's video. Do let me know in the comments which was your favourite fabric from this collection. Are you sewing any festive or party wear this year? I'd love to hear your plans in the comments below. As always, I'll tag all the fabrics and the patterns that I've mentioned below this video, so if you want to check any of those out on our website, then you can do easily. And just to mention, here at Minerva we do offer a fast, free, worldwide delivery, so wherever you're watching us from around the world we can send parcels of fabric joy out to you. We do also offer a sample service as well of all our fabrics, and we do sell our fabrics in part meters, so you can order just what you like here at Minerva. If you're a member of our Minerva Craft Club, then you will be able to save 10% off everything I've mentioned in today's video, as well as everything online on our website. And if you're not a member yet, we'll put a link to that below so you can check that out if you'd like to, and yeah, you'll save on every single order that you place with us here at Minerva. So that's everything I wanted to mention today. I hope you found that really inspiring. Hopefully it's inspired you to do a little bit of festive or party sewing this season, and yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you next time with lots more fabric and sewing goodness.